Dan, this time around is so different, not only because of how the debate played out last time, but just because of COVID and the idea that neither of them are really campaigning like they would be in normal conditions. Does that mean more is riding on the debates? Or, I mean, you've also got voting starting. It's less than 40 days to Election Day, but you've got early voting and mail-in voting starting already in several states. So I don't even know how to put this in context with anything we've ever seen before.
Well, we are definitely in uncharted territory, and I think you're absolutely right, Becky. You got right to the heart of what's happening here, is that usually presidents do better in their second debate than their first debate, and those presidents that have done better have gone on to get reelected. But the next debate is until mid-October, and millions of voters are going to vote between now and then. So that means that it's less important this cycle than it's been in previous cycles, meaning the second debate. It makes the first debate much more important. And additionally, the number of undecided voters are actually shrinking here. And that's why I think the president needs some big event to happen to start changing the course of the race. He's not as far off as the consensus believes, but those challenges are getting much greater for him to close the gap here. And I think the debate last night just solidified the existing trend of this race. And that is that Biden's leading, and he's got a lead strong enough that he could probably hold on absent some big event happening.
What are you talking about, some big event? I mean, I can't imagine anything that hasn't already happened this year.
Well, 2020 has been the year of the unexpected. But if you think, I mean, did you expect James Comey to open up Hillary Clinton's emails in late October, 2 weeks before the election? You know, so we've been planning for known unknowns. The president's tax returns coming out was a known unknown that happened. I would anticipate that there will be more of these events as we go through, which means the range of outcomes here are much larger. But from an investment perspective, the market is now going to further price in a Biden win until something changes here. And that's happening in the most election-sensitive stocks like renewable energy, areas like infrastructure. And then on the Republican side, you can see weakness in defense or some of these for-profit stocks such as student lenders and prisons and education companies. So I think the market is going to start putting in a little bit higher probability of Biden winning after last night's debate.
Hey, Dan, do you think that will have an impact on the overall averages? I mean, we're not looking at much movement today, down about 46 points for the Dow. And you may look at sectors, whether that be healthcare or defense, like you mentioned, or other areas. But do you think that has an impact on the overall markets? Do you think if the market is going to continue to factor in a Biden win, you'll see much different than what we've seen to date?
Yeah, I want to make clear, I think elections are about sectors and election-sensitive stocks. The overall index does get nervous as you go into an election. And historically, when the opposition party wins, regardless of party, you do see an equity market sell-off into the election. And usually you wait until after the first debate before you start seeing that equity market sell-off if the incumbent party is going to start to lose. So there will be a little bit of a risk off. And I think last night's debate showed why that's happened. Are you going to raise taxes immediately or just do a large fiscal policy stimulus? What are you going to do on health care? Those are decisions an incoming administration will need to make. And generally, investors take some risk off going into that. I think, interestingly, what we're seeing is a big pickup in merger activity. And that is that companies are saying, well, maybe our taxes are going to go up and maybe the antitrust review is going to be more stricter. So you can actually see some positive developments into the election as well. But the overall S&P should be impacted if you see the opposition party start to win over the next 30 days or so.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.